David McGovern of Moniki Rock Art is a master stonemason, an artist and a gifted craftsman. He's been commissioned to create a new Pictish stene for St Vigians to mark the 700th anniversary of the Declaration of Arbroath as part of the Arbroath 2020 celebrations. I joined David in his workshop to find out more about the new stene.
So it's a brand new stone, Frida. It's a brand new design Pictish stone, carved in the Pictish tradition, but a brand new piece of work. So you'll mind my stone at Fortiviat, which was 9 by 3, so it was about 2 tons of sandstone.
Huge stone.
That was the first Pictish stone, a new design Pictish stone of that scale, carved in Scotland in over 1,000 years. Wow. And took about a year to carve. This one's a bit smaller, and I'm planning to carve it within a couple of months. But for me, it's another stone in a series of Pictish stones, new design Pictish stones that I want to carve within my lifetime in the Scottish landscape.
Now, it's the new stone for St Vigians. Far does the connection come with St Vigians and this stone?
So St Vigians has obviously got a great collection of Pictish sculpture. So it was an incredibly important site back in Pictish times, dedicated to this mysterious St Fechin, an Irish saint, the Pictish equivalent of his name being St Vigians. So the stone is part of Arbroath 2020. It's the 700th year anniversary of the Declaration of Arbroath. So you might wonder, what's the connection between the Picts and Arbroath? But the scope of that project is to look at everything to do with Arbroath. So I chose as my subject matter St Vigians and the idea of a brand new design Pictish stone for that place.
So tell us about how you started off choosing your motifs for this new stene.
Well, it's not easy, because we're carving and designing something within a tradition, but that is entirely brand new. And that tradition ended about 1,000 years ago. So it's picking it up, looking at the conventions, looking at the style of the thing, the use of space. And these are things I've been looking at since I was about 13 or 14 years of age.
So every motif in this stene is new?
Correct,
New design?
So it's not a replica. And I love carving replicas. Carving replicas is fantastic. It's what I do most of the time. But see, to do something brand new, same style, same conventions, same use of space, trying to emulate that, but carve something that's got a message and a story all of its own, with new motifs and new design. It's not easy, but it is a great privilege to try.
So this is the new stone for St Vigians?
Aye.
Far does the connection come with St Vigians and this stone?
So St Vigians has obviously got a great collection of Pictish sculpture. So it was an incredibly important site back in Pictish times, dedicated to this mysterious St Fechin, an Irish saint, the Pictish equivalent of his name being St Vigians. So the stone is part of Arbroath 2020. It's the 700th year anniversary of the Declaration of Arbroath. So you might wonder, what's the connection between the Picts and Arbroath? But the scope of that project is to look at everything to do with Arbroath. So I chose as my subject matter St Vigians and the idea of a brand new design Pictish stone for that place.
Let's see a look if it's on the stone. The first angel on the left is just a beautiful motif. Tell us a wee bit about that, David.
So there are some fantastic angels on Pictish stones in Angus. It's based on a number of angels, most notably the one from Easy, which is just along the road from here, with that fantastic triple spiral and the double wing. It's very clearly an angel, but I wanted to do something new with it, because the point of this stone is that everything on this stone will be brand new. This isn't based on any of the symbols, any of the things that we see on any of the Angus stones. This is a brand new piece of Pictish art to keep Pictish art alive.
And then we're in the right-hand corner, you've got, it looks like an angel with an eagle's head.
I made him up, but the head is based on something from the Gospel of Cerne, which is a continental illuminated gospel from the early medieval times. And it's just part of the tradition of what the Picts did. They picked things up. It was the age of migrating ideas. They picked up little designs, little motifs that you see on continental art, and they used them in their expressions of what they believed in on the Pictish stones.
You see, we didn't speak a lot about Pictish art. I'm just thinking, wouldn't it be a lovely thing if we could have heard the Picts speaking about their art?
Absolutely.
I mean, they had a lot to offer, and they're very fond. It's something we never really appreciate, I think, as much as we should. It's just the sheer art forms and Pictish designs in this area.
Aye. We don't appreciate how unique it is as well. I mean, the Picts were just us, Frida, right? 1,000 odd years ago. They were just living and loving and dying in these places.
And banqueting in the great big halls.
And feasting, yes, and trying to make sense of what the world means and what comes after.
Aye.
And that's what the Pictish monuments are all about. It's an expression of their belief system.
Now, down below you've got the startings of a knight on horseback. Of course, you're drawing every single motif by hand first before you actually go the chisel.
I am, and it's very, very difficult to carve, to design and carve something brand new, but within the Pictish tradition. Art historians probably don't like it at all, right, what I'm doing. In fact, I know that they don't. But it's the hardest thing to take a set of conventions, if you like, but create something new within it. You know, people talk about the use of space within the best Pictish sculpture, and at its best, it looks fairly random. It looks like they're trying to fill all of the space with motifs of some kind. It looks relatively easy to recreate until you sit down and try and do it, and it's not easy at all. It's very, very difficult.
If it happens, if you make a mistake and your chisel goes off the glide.
No, you change it. You change the shape of his head.
Aye.
So what I've got here on the stone, you talked about a knight. It's not a knight, it's a saint. So it's based on St. Fechin, but there's a bit of St. Drosten in him as well. So he's a guy on horseback. He's actually carrying a loaf of bread because St. Fechin was always associated with St. Anthony, you know, one of the desert fathers. And it is always associated in depictions of him carrying a loaf of bread or a Bible. So I've included him carrying a loaf of bread, just so that there's that suggestion that this is St. Fechin travelling through Scotland.
So, fit to the historians, Marco, your new Pictish designs? Again, that's maybe a dangerous question to ask.
Well, I consulted quite widely on the Forteviot stone, and the locals were fantastic. In fact, a great bunch of people in
That
Forteviot.
was a magnificent stone,
The
wasn't it?
Tay Landscape Partnership were fantastic. I couldn't have looked for better people than Sophie and the guys at the Tay Landscape Partnership. The historians and the archaeologists loved it. Great support from Gordon Noble and Stephen Driscoll and others. But the art historians were maybe not quite as pleased with the idea.
Because you're pushing back the boundaries of Pictish art, aren't you? You're creating something new.
That's the exciting bit about it. It's not accepting that Pictish art is dead. Pictish art is strong and unique and distinctive. And therefore, for someone like me, who's been looking at Pictish design and Pictish art since the age of about 13 or 14, it's the greatest thing in the world to pick it up and play with it and do something new with it. But not everybody is so keen on that.
The phrase comes to mind, let history be the boat near the anchor.
I like that.
You like that?
Aye.
And I'm thinking of this other phrase that's gone through my mind. You know, speaking about, you know, this will be here for a long, long time, this stone. And I remember the line for Lewis Grass at Gibbon, the Scots Square and Sunset Song. It's only the stones remain.
Aye, only the stones
And they'll
remain.
be there.
Nothing endures.
Aye, nothing endures. David, what's your deadline for the stone?
We're hoping to get it done by mid to late April. So not a lot of time really, but I'm pretty quick.
No, you're quick. Hopefully you wouldn't make too many mistakes with the chisel going off the glide.
Absolutely. And we'll get it in the ground at St. Vigin's, in the shadow of the kirk, right by the burn, and I can't wait.
David, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you, and congratulations.
Thanks, Frida.